Hello, and welcome to the Signs of Tarot. My name is Michelle. I'm an intuitive tarot reader in Las Vegas, Nevada. Welcome to the channel. I'm doing a reading today for the sign of Libra. And it's funny, I got actually a couple of DMs yesterday asking why I always keep the hourglass in all of my readings. Well, I'm reading for the sign of Libra, which is you. But more than that, if you have spent any time on my channel, you will know that the Rider-Waite deck, created in 1908, which is the original tarot card deck, and the Wizard of Oz, created and distributed in 1938. Well, the Wizard of Oz is the tarot journey, and Dorothy is the fool that starts a whole new tarot journey into the sun, the yellow brick road. You will hear me use references to the Wizard of Oz throughout every one of my readings, because the more I study, and I have read hundreds of books on the Wizard of Oz, its symbolism, its understanding, and it is absolutely the tarot journey. Actually, I have a video somewhere in this playlist that talks about the Wizard of Oz and the tarot journey. Go ahead and click on that. I think you might find it fascinating. But without further ado, that is why I am keeping the hourglass in all of my readings for the rest of the year. And more so, it's important for all of us who are part of the collective. And if you watch tarot readings on YouTube, if you've clicked on this video, you are part of the collective. It's important for us to realize that divine timing is a true experience and that the universe has a mind of its own. It brings us the people that are meant for us when the timing is correct. In the same light, it takes people out of our life when the timing is correct. You know, one thing I have learned over the last 6 years during my dark night of the soul experience is sometimes when people leave your life, it may hurt, it may even be devastating, but the truth of the matter is they leave your life for a purpose and a reason. And you've got to hold on to that process. You've got to trust the process to know when people leave our life, they're not supposed to be a part of our life. As hard as it may seem and as heartbroken as it is, people leave to open up space to bring in somebody new. All right, Libra, this is for you. We start off with the apple card and the apple basket with overflowing apples. Yes, another reference to the Wizard of Oz, if you're familiar with that movie. When Dorothy bends down to get an apple because she's hungry and she finds out the trees are alive. And they throw those apples across the way and she goes to pick one up, and that's how they find the Tin Man. Because everything happens for a purpose and a process. We're gonna dive in. Your apple basket, Libra. Whenever I start my readings off with the apple basket, it's to tell you that you have achieved some goals. You have achieved some long-term goals. See, we take for granted when we go to the store and pick up an apple that it started from a seed, spent years growing into a tree, branches, twigs, leaves, and then the apple bud, and then surviving all of the elements of weather. Most of those apples don't make it, but those that do and grow into completion are picked, and we get to eat it. We never ever think about that when we go to the grocery store and get a bag of apples. We just eat the apple. But what a long journey it took for that apple to get there. So take a moment, Libra, for whatever Libra I'm reading for, whether it's you or whether there's a Libra person that's very important to you, which is why you clicked on this video. It took a long time for you to fill this apple basket. And you can see there's different colors and different sizes and different shapes and all different kinds of apples. It's not just about love, it's love, family, career, money, solidarity, religious, spiritual beliefs, patterns of behaviors. It took you a long time to overflow your beautiful basket of achievements. So take a moment to take a deep breath and be proud. There's a roof over your head. If there's an iPhone in your hand and you're watching your video, if there's food on your table, you've come a long way. Okay. But we're talking about where you are right now on the journey and where you are going on the journey. And it's important to realize with this particular card that in order for you to continue your journey a few things need to be left behind. I'm not a literal tarot reader. I'm not going to say there are 3 apples out of the basket, so you have to leave 3 people behind. No, that's not it. But what the universe is telling me through this card is that there are a few, more than one, things that need to be left behind. Primarily people who are no longer serving your greater good. What does that mean to be serving your greater good? They no longer lift your spirits. They no longer resonate with your soul. They no longer walk the same path you're walking. They no longer stand beside you on the journey. There's some people that need to be left behind for you to continue on your prosperous journey. You've come a long way, which means that there have been a lot of lessons learned, some discernment along the way. You can basically feel right now, Libra, when you meet somebody new or you connect with somebody new, you know if they're vibing on your vibe, if they share the same philosophy as you, if they share the same need for happiness with you, if they share the same love language with you. And again, that doesn't just have to be romantic. It could be family members, it could be friends, it could be work colleagues, it could just be people that you meet in an elevator. The truth of the matter is, for you to continue your journey, it's time to clean up your apple basket, to really look at people and ask, are they going to be a part of my journey thus far? We open up your reading here with the first tarot card, which is the Sun, sign of Leo. The Sun talks about honesty, abundance. It's the happiest card in the deck. It also has a baby on the card. So if that's something that you're looking for, if it's time for you to conceive, if you're looking to start a family, it's a beautiful card to get. If that's not where you are in your journey, it's the brand new beautiful start of a new way of thinking, a new way of being, a new way of handling things, a new way of learning how to respond instead of react. Underneath that card, I have ownership. Ownership with the Sun card. You are owning this newness of you. And I just got chills. I can barely breathe, Libra. You are owning who you are now, meaning you've accepted your lessons. I'm not saying letting go of people is easy. It's never easy. They're a part of you. You shared experiences with them. There's memories with them. And not everybody has to be cut out 100%. But you know the people that you need to invest your time, energy in. Those energy vampires that take more from you than they give you. Those energy vampires that take what they need from you, and then when you no longer are needed, they throw you away. You know exactly who I'm talking about, Libra. But underneath that card is ownership. And it's absolutely beautiful because it's a self-acknowledgement of who you are and who you need to be as you step into this next wave of your life. We head into the Three of Wands. It's probably one of my favorite cards in the tarot deck. And talking about the Wizard of Oz, I've got to pull that card up so that you can see. See, it's the only card that the protagonist in the card is looking at the sun. The sun is not behind them. It's Dorothy looking out at this yellow brick road saying, I don't know where I am. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm going to take every step with wonderment. I'm going to tackle every new step along the way as I look out at a whole new horizon, because it's time for me to let people that no longer need to be a part of this next wave of my journey. I need to leave them cemented as part of my past. Always a part of who you are, but part of your past, and move forward with 2 new wands as you embark upon a whole new journey. And what's critical about this card, and not many tarot readers point that out, I do, he takes the wand farthest away. He knows this journey is not easy. When you look at the sun, we must look at ourselves. We must admit to the things we have done wrong. We must admit to the things we could have done better. We must admit to the things that we have faced and dealt with in our life that if we could go back, we would have done differently. Let me put it that way. And we all have them. We're human, at least here on the 3D earth. Most of us are not human. We live in the 5D as well. If you're watching tarot readings, we got this. But we make mistakes. We make wrong choices. But those of us who grow and want to ascend, learn to accept that we've made a wrong choice. And how can we be better today? We know this journey is not easy, which is why he's taking the farthest wand. He's not taking the easy way out. He's not sweeping shit under the carpet. He's not pretending that he or she didn't do something wrong or that he or she could have made better mistakes. Every day I face myself and say, damn, I wish I would have done that different. If I only knew now what I didn't know then. Okay? It's time to let it go. Keep it back there and move forward. Embark upon your yellow brick road, brick by brick, to meet new people, to experience new things, to conquer the witch, to conquer adversary, to conquer your own personal temptations, to make sure you use discernment, aka the Wizard of Oz really isn't a wizard at all in the beginning, now is he? Use discernment about the people that come into your life. It's a beautiful reading, Libra. We also have the past. Through the power of love, you release any stagnant situations or energy in order to transform your space. Isn't that what we're talking about? Brand new with the Sun card. A brand new way of being. You're taking ownership of that. And in this card here that it says, it's time for you to let go of your past. Can't make this shit up. Time to let it go. Leave it here, cemented, as part of your experience. You don't have to stop loving people. You don't have to stop cherishing the memories. But you know they're not right for you to move on with your future. Let's go into the third card, which is the Queen of Wands. Could be you. Could be the person you tapped onto this reading for. It doesn't have to be a girl. It can be divine masculine, divine feminine. We reincarnate. We possess both. On any given moment, we can be more emotional like a divine feminine. We can be more decisive in making decisions, whether right or wrong decisions, as the divine masculine. But the Queen of Wands talks about charisma, but it also talks about showing a face to the world. Okay? Have you used a false mask? Are you really feeling one way but project something else? Only these are the questions, Libra, that you can ask yourself, because as a Libra, I'm a Libra moon, so I get it. My moon sign is Libra. It's all about equal give and take. Am I showing my true self? Do I tell people when I love them? Do I tell people when I'm not in love with them anymore? Put yourself where you belong here. The Queen of Wands is charismatic. She moves forward. She is one of my most spiritual queens, which is fantastic. She holds the sunflower. Sorry, my cards are sticking. She holds the sunflowers, meaning as she moves forward on her journey, she reminds herself that honesty is the way to go. What's important for me as an intuitive tarot reader is that I have studied feet in my tarot cards for 30 years. Feet matter. See? She's only showing the tip of one toe, which means she hides. She hides behind a mask. She hides behind the black cat. Sometimes she's afraid of showing her true self. Sometimes she's afraid of expressing her true self. What will people think? What will people feel? What happens if I tell him I love him and he doesn't say it back? What happens if I tell her this relationship is over, I have fallen in love with somebody else? It's time for you to take hold of who you are and stand in your authentic truth of honesty. Here she is, draped in yellow. Draped in the sun of honesty and integrity. I see you breaking free, Libra, of the mask. I just got chills. God, my whole body just, wow, that was crazy. I wish you could have felt what I just felt right now from my head to my toe. That was chills. It's a beautiful moment for you, Libra, to realize it doesn't matter what other people think of me. This is what I feel. I'm going to express love. I'm going to express gratitude. And mostly I'm going to express fear. It's okay to tell someone you're afraid. Underneath that card, we have discernment. Haven't I been talking about discernment this entire time? You are developing the skill to distinguish love from fear and truth from illusion. I can't make this stuff up. I just picked these cards randomly and threw them out on the table. The truth of the matter is, If you can't tell somebody exactly how you feel, that person no longer should be a part of your life, bottom line. If you can't express what you feel towards someone, if you can't tell someone this is what scares you in the relationship, this is what you're afraid about, then that person doesn't belong on your journey any longer. And it's time to let them be part of the apples that fall out of your baskets. Discernment is so key as we move forward into this next wave as a collective. We've learned lessons. We can't allow people in our life that will challenge those lessons, but if you cannot express how you feel, if you have to temper the way you feel, if you can only walk on eggshells with how you feel with the people in your life, they don't belong in your life. Six of Swords. Yes, the traditional meaning of this card is going on to smooth waters, sailing on. I have a different meaning for this card. To me, proverbially, he takes his wife and his kid. Doesn't matter if you're a guy or girl, if you have a family. What this talks about is having passion. Wands are all about passion. It's the biggest wand in the deck. Passion. 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 You're passionate about your priorities. Whether those priorities are a family, whether those priorities are your work life, whether those priorities are friends, whether those priorities, and they should be, how you feel, how you think, and standing in your authentic truth. You are deciding to move away from people, situations, and obstacles that don't allow you to stand in your authentic truth, and you are moving on with your own priorities to a calmer experience. And underneath that, I have satisfaction. You let the energy of love guide you to self-approval that others no longer define who you are. I cannot make this up. I cannot believe how these cards are falling on this table right now for you. Libra, this becomes one of my favorite readings of the month. It's time for you to define who you are, not live in the fake environment. Only select the people who will be a greater asset, who will lift you to your higher source, who will bring out honesty for you, who make you feel comfortable speaking your honest truth. Final card, the Hangman. I love this card. It talks about police, it talks about FBI, it talks about investigation. That's your traditional card, okay? But what this talks about is hanging this person upside down. He's here to see his authentic truth. And by stepping outside and take a moment of pause, to look at the people in your life, to look at the situations in your life, and to make a determined understanding of who is best in your life and who is not best in your life. Take a moment of pause. Take a moment to really assess who you are and where you want to go on this journey. It becomes crystal clear in the light bulb. The sun, the light comes out. Honesty, integrity. When you take yourself out of the game and really look at who you are and who you want to be, and ask yourself, are these people the people to get me there? The Hangman hangs himself upside down to see life from a different perspective. When I do tarot readings, and I get this with the tarot people in front of me, I say this is what I call my puzzle piece card. It's when you're working on a puzzle tediously for 6 hours, and then you leave the room, and you come back in a few hours later, and there's the piece you've been looking for the whole time. You needed to take a breather, a moment of pause. You needed to clear your thoughts, your mind, your soul. You needed to breathe differently. You needed to just regroup and ground yourself. But when you come in from a different perspective, you see the puzzle piece immediately. The light bulb goes off, and you will realize who's meant for you and who's not meant for you. And your final card, self-love. You realize that love of self is necessary to love other people. This is such a beautiful reading, Libra. I have chills from my head to my toe. Please drop a note in the comments. Let me know what city, state, country you are watching this from. And check out my channel, www.thesignsoftarot.com, my website. I think you'll get some additional tidbits there. I am a Libra moon. I claim this reading for myself and for you. If you have not yet liked, shared, or subscribed, think about doing so. I got your back. Namaste.